I'm glad you say this because, recently I read a book called Generation Debt by a very young American writer, Anya Kamenetz. And what she's saying is that post 2008 and the recession and the state of how young people don't get jobs, they take on huge debts to go to university. She came up with this very interesting theory. She's saying that that in America they should promote a 3 generations living together structure where the old people who have their retirement funds can pay for the education of the grandchildren, and the grandchildren in return for that are there instead of their expensive hospital care. Now, I think that we already, with our joint family system,
They probably got it from studying this. A lot of these things a lot of Indian values which we've rejected are actually being reconsidered, brought in
elsewhere.
Yes.
And all we need to do is, if it is at 80%, we need to take it to 100%, make it work in a more modern setup, rather than throwing away the baby with the bathwater, which is sort of being recommended.
See, the idea of a very highly, Puneet and I were talking about this also, the idea of a very highly, Puneet mentioned this, highly individualistic society. Then there is a state which is the granddaddy looking after everybody through Social Security. They're going bankrupt. I mean, every generation is going to get less and less Social Security benefit and have to pay more and more. So this business of state looking after, giving you the safety net has not worked. We had jatis doing that. Jati is the place of last resort. I could always go back to my jati, and no matter what, they take me in. And the worst punishment would be to be kicked out of your jati because of something. So that as an alternative social structure and economic structure. There's a Professor Vaidyanathan in Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. He's done a whole structure on the economic consequences of jatis, and he shows that many of the progressive jatis that have done very well in India's economic boom are actually it's their jati structure and their ability to work together and help each other that makes them so successful. For instance, the Patels owning all these motels, more than half the motel rooms in the US, it is because the Patels are a very well-knit jati. So the Sikhs own a bunch of gas stations, a lot of the gas stations. So if you look at that structure, it's even brought into the United States. Koreans own certain businesses that Korean owned.
Delhi.
The Korean delis and laundromats. There are certain businesses in which they kind of got a corner on this. So we have had this jati structure. It's considered very bad and abusive, but actually people are thinking that this is a better alternative than the social security of the state, because that's going to go broke. Maybe the social security system worked in very tiny countries like Sweden, and you cannot scale them. The United States cannot make it work. So if we were to Americanize, break down our jati structure, break down our family structure, who is going to do the social security?
And especially given the population that we have.
Huge population. So we have these issues. I think we are giving away some of the things that are social, cultural assets. That's capital we are just throwing away. And others are looking at it, experimenting it, and probably introducing it for themselves. We're picking up bad habits like, if you look at cigarette smoking, there's a decline in the last 10 years in cigarette smoking in the United States. And so where do all these Philip Morris and all these people go? They go to Asia, and there's a big increase in cigarette smoking. So we're picking up these habits. We're picking up the increase in beef. I mean, I'm not want to get into that controversy, but purely as a medical issue.
Or whatever, processed food, I mean.
Purely as a medical issue, there is a huge campaign against red meats in the United States and against, chemical fertilizers, going to organic. My grandmother used to have organic farming. We just introduced all these chemical fertilizers because of boosting production and all that, just blindly doing it, killing a lot of the genetic diversity, biodiversity. Now we are finding that actually the poor farmer who never used chemicals, he's got a crop which is organic, and that has international value of a very high kind. So we are thinking that going from tradition to modernity in a westernized way is actually progress. In some cases, it's destruction.
Absolutely.